This is honestly not that daunting of a task. I really, truly love to get rid of shit. I do. It's a part of me that I am so happy that I have. I love to get rid of stuff. It's easy for me. I love to look at it and abandon it almost immediately. I don't know why, but my relationship to things is that if I can pass it on, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do keep onto things. Some things I know I'll have for years, but certain things, I know when it's time to let it go, you know, like a bad love affair. Leave it at the bus stop. Don't pick it up. Let it find its own way home. So today we're gonna have the very fun task of getting rid of those books I don't need anymore. So let's get into it. Shall we? We shall. All right, so I do need my drink. I do. I'm sorry. This just makes it so much easier, so much more fun. I feel like I'm inviting you into my boudoir. I feel like it's a little bit more of an intimate experience for everyone involved. Okay, first book. The Life of a Stupid Man by Ryunosuke Akutagawa. I definitely enjoyed this book. I had a great time with it. This is the Penguin Black editions, which I completely love. This is a great way to explore this author, someone I didn't previously know. But do I need to keep this? No. I'm happily going to pass this on to someone else who desperately needs it in their life. Fun, great experience. I don't need it anymore. Oh, the next book, Of the Farm by John Updike. I also really, really, really love this book. It's funny, I'm looking at the back of this and it says a psychological thriller, which I wouldn't particularly categorize it that way, but I understand where they're coming from with that. I don't think that that's it. I actually thought that this was a great book. I thought it was a really nice meditation on family and how we kind of break ourselves away from that tradition. And I love this. Actually might be surprisingly one of my favorite books of the year, but do I need to keep it? No. How easy is this? This is insane. Robert Frost. I will keep this. This is actually my father's book, so I do need to give this back to him, and I just don't feel right getting rid of it because I like this. This is a sentimental piece. Sue me. Then we have, oh God, is it time to put this drink away? I think so. Then we have King Lear by William Shakespeare. This is my favorite Shakespeare, actually. This is the Shakespeare that does it for me. I feel like everybody has a defining Shakespeare. Even if they dislike his work, I feel like there's always one that resonates with them a little bit. And this is it for me, King Lear. I really enjoyed this. But now that I'm looking at it, do I need it? Do I really need it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Weird. I'm gonna just take these off. Then I have Crime and Punishment that I still need to read by Dostoevsky. This is gonna happen, I'm sure at some point. When will that be? When could that be? I don't know. I have Madame Bovary by Flaubert. This was given to me by Kieran over at Katie Books. I still have to reread this. I read this when I first moved to New York City and I loved it. And then I have Cockroaches by Scholastic Mukasonga. I won't get rid of this. This is also not impossible to track down, but a book that just, you know, it can escape you if you're looking in all the wrong places. So I definitely won't get rid of this. This is like a eye-opening experience of a novel and fantastic story, so definitely won't. These are books that must be kept. Oh, is it how upsetting is that making you that I'm putting it back like that? I'm sorry, but whoops. Then I have Passing by Nell Larson. I liked this. I thought that this was a really, really fantastically crafted story. I think it was prime storytelling. Storytelling at its finest, but do I want to keep this? Not right now. I don't have a particular relationship to it that is making me need to keep it. I'll pass it on to somebody who needs it. East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Of course I'm keeping it. Of course, I don't care. Wool Gathering. Ooh, by Patti Smith. I love this copy. This is just sheer gorge. Gorge gorgeous. Do I want to get rid of this now? Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sell this. This book is not my favorite of hers. I definitely enjoyed it a lot, but since having had it for a couple of years, I don't know if it's my all-time fave. Is it signed? Is that really her signature? Is that signed, or is that a part of... I think I'm gonna get rid of it though. So somebody, you can have this. You can have this for the steal of whatever I sell it for. Lonnie by Max Porter. I think I want to keep this. I think I want to keep this because I love this book, and I feel like this is a book that I could give to intimate friends that I could give to my friends. Not necessarily intimate friends. I don't really know what that is, what sort of relationships I'm having. I'm gonna keep this. King Kong Theory by Virginie Despentes. I love this cover. Such a kick-ass cover. That is, oh man, I remember seeing this in the bookstore, and I've since seen all of her covers that sort of look like this. That's how you do a book cover. That's how you get the standing ovation, the encore. Yes, I'll keep it. The World According to Garp by John Irving. Yes, I'm going to keep that. That was given to me by my favorite high school teacher. That will always have a place in my heart. Kraftwerk, Future Music from Germany. I need to read this. I don't know why this is taking me so long to pick up, because I think about it all the time, and I actually think about it a lot when I'm on runs. And I don't know what it is in particular. I do know what it is. I listen to a lot of electronic music when I'm running. I find that if I don't really know the direction that the music's going, it helps me stay much more in tune with the vibe of the run, as opposed to kind of counting lyrics and measuring out time, if that makes sense. I need to read this. I definitely need to read it. Baron in the Trees. Still need to read it. Is this also signed? No, I don't think so. Is that his signature? Do we know that? Though I doubt. Why does that look like J.M. Coetzee's name? That's what I feel like that signature is. We'll find out. I'll do more investigative journalism on it. And then we have 1Q84 by Murakami. I'm keeping that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is a book that gave me the confidence to read again. It's a big old brick of a book, and if you can finish that, I feel like you can finish anything. Yes, I'm keeping that. This is a novel that will startle you in every part of your being. You can't believe that someone was able to put this into text. I love these plays. This feels very much like it's the darkest parts of yourself that are kind of trying to breach the light. Not for everyone though. Definitely don't pick it up if you know that you shouldn't be reading that stuff, you know? The Wayward Bus by John Steinbeck. I just did a haul. I need to read this. Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Ooh, man. Yeah, I think I'll keep this. Maybe I would like to get a better edition of this. I feel like this is just kind of the run-of-the-mill, the most popular edition that you see now, which is, I guess, iconic in its own way. I'll keep it because I really love this novel. The Seas. Oh my gosh, why is my nose so itchy? The Seas by Samantha Hunt. I really loved this book. This is also an autographed copy. Slapped it right on the front. They said, hello, this is autographed. Cute. Look at those little tides. I think I'm gonna get rid of this though. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about my nose. I think I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't know if I'd reread it, and I feel like somebody else could have it. And I see this on the side of the road a lot in the city. Why? Not autographed though. You can take it, you can have it, you can love it. 100 Years of Solitude. This is by far the ugliest edition of this novel I have ever seen. Really just not anything attractive about this. It's giving, bad. I'll keep it. We have the iconic A Little Life. I'll keep that, definitely. I also have a ton of books laying around me that I haven't read yet, so they haven't made it onto the shelf, and that's partially why I'm getting rid of things. But this is a book that I just read. I just did a haul with this book in it. This might be one of my favorite books of all time right now. Crackpot by John Waters. This is not everybody's cup of tea, but this is my cup of tea. This is a strong brewed cup of tea that is shooting into my veins. I loved this. I laughed my ass off, and I feel like I was seen in this novel. I love this, so I will not get rid of this at all. The Secret History, absolutely not. Absolutely not, queens. No way. This is her, and she's staying. Taipei by Tao Lin. I just read this. I feel like I've been talking about this a lot, so I'm sure that you're fully aware that I just read this. I don't think that I need to keep this. I think this is in pretty good condition, and I feel like somebody else might enjoy the experience of this maybe a little bit more than I did, though I didn't hate my experience with it. I feel like it's okay to pass it on to somebody else. Ta-da-da. Tough. Am I ready to get rid of this book? I don't know. Yukio Mishima, Confessions of a Mass. This is one of my favorite book covers of all time. This has made it through a lot of book unhauls. This has made it to the final round, and I've never gotten rid of it. But as I'm kind of expanding my collection, is this going to be a book that I reach for? Yeah, I'll keep it. Crazy! She's making last-minute decisions. Oh god, Darkness Visible by William Styron. This is a keeper. I love William Styron. This book makes you feel like you aren't the only one suffering through something. Pink, one of the worst books I've ever read. Maybe I'll do a vlog rereading a bad book and seeing if there's any sort of, I don't know, any sort of way to make it work again. But I love that cover. That's so cool. It's giving me 90s English movies, you know, that genre of movies where it was just vivid colors and like big block letters on the titles. I'll keep it. I'm such a weird, it's very like my rationale for keeping things is not really making sense. Let's start to kind of lower it down. Let's lower it down. Oh god, Jesus, I gotta squat now. This looks so odd. That's fine, whatever. We're doing an awkward squat and we're getting in there. All right, let's work. Then we have I Will Die in a Foreign Land by Kalani Pickhardt. Do I think that I need this book? No, I don't think that I need it. The Devil in the White City, one of my favorite books of all time. This is probably my most reread book. Yeah, I want to keep this. Oh, baby, let's go. Oh my god, this is... Should I just go like this, just from my chest? No. Do a wall sit. We're doing a wall sit. Into the Wild by John Krakauer. I am going to keep this. I am going to keep it, you know? Am I able to find this at literally every single thrift store? Yes. And that is why I'm going to keep it, because I really don't think anybody needs this, because they will be able to find it. You can manifest this book and you will be able to find it anywhere. So I'm going to keep my edition. Oh, The People in the Trees by Hanya Yanagihara. The second book of hers that I have, the first book that she published. Do I have any intention of reading To Paradise? Maybe. If it comes and crosses my path, maybe I will read it. This book was very startling to me, and I think about this book all the time. I don't think that I need this book, though. I thought that this was really well written, but I was chronically disturbed by this. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This was a great book. I loved this book. I had so much fun with this book. This is a true thriller, and I think that Flynn has just found a way to get into that genre and make it work so well. Fantastic, but I don't need it. I'm getting absolutely feral with these decisions. The Guillotine, baby. On Moonlit Night by Caradog Pritchard. Great Welsh novel. I know that a lot of people on the tubies were reading this. This was a really good novel to portray the effects of what grief and trauma can do to you in a way that is really stunning at the end. Do I particularly need this book? No, I do not. Butts by Heather Radke. This book I have a very strong love-hate relationship with. I can't stop thinking about it, but is it for all the right reasons? Absolutely not. This is a advanced reader's edition, so maybe I'll do a giveaway of this book when I hit 15,000. Is that something that might be cherished and loved? My thighs are burning. We have A Little History of the World by E.H. Gombrich and An Anthropologist on Mars by Oliver Sacks. I haven't read this yet, and I need to. Read this year after having it for almost 3 years. Loved it. And I reference this a lot just because I feel like it taught me so much about history in a linear way that I've since I had forgotten when I was originally taught it. And this is just a really great reference point for so many different conversations to be had. And I imagine that this book will do that for me in like a scientific way. So I'll definitely keep that. Oh, baby, we're getting there. We're getting there. You know what? Let's lower this down. I have A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was sassy. I thought that Forster has a way of doing dialogue that really crafts the story much more than anything. Do I need this book, though? No, I do not. There. She walked so that the Pisces, so that Mrs. Caliban could run. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, do I want to keep this book or do I want to get rid of it? That's so hard. I feel like I want to keep it still. Michael Kohlhaas. This is one of the best covers I've ever seen. Truly one of the best covers I've ever seen. I don't know if I need to keep it though. I feel like it's time to get rid of it. I'm ready to part. I'm just absolutely running through these things. White Teeth by Zadie Smith. I'm gonna keep this because this is probably one of my, this so far is in the running to be my favorite book this year. Spoiler alert for any end of the year list, but this 100%, I think about this once a week. I loved this story. I laughed my ass off. Yeah, I thought this was great, so I'm definitely keeping this. Death by Finding by David Sedaris. I'm 100% keeping this, and I feel like I might need a reread of this soon. This is a book that shaped me, made me feel like it was okay to be a little bit behind in life. I love David Sedaris, and I think his older stuff is what made him so charming. I haven't really read so much of his newer stuff, but I feel like his older stuff is really just what showed you who he was and why he was so relatable and charismatic, and this I'm 100% keeping. Near to the Wild Heart by Clarice Lispector. My first Lispector, thought it was great. She has a huge brain, savage beauty, and just such a amazing female role model. Do I need the book though? No, I don't. Fieldwork and Ukrainian Sex. This one kind of is in the same vein of Sarah Kane's work, where it just feels like this, oh my God, this cloud of words and emotions is coming at you, and it's impossible to see through. That's what this feels like. It's very, very visceral. It's very, very dense, but it paints a pretty accurate picture of doomed relationships. I think I want to keep this though, and this might be the book that I get rid of. Voices from Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich. This is basically what the HBO series Chernobyl was based off of, or at least a lot of the stories from here were taken to make that series. This is all about the survivors of Chernobyl, the people who were kind of left behind after this horrific catastrophe. This was really, really hard to read. Very, very difficult. Took me a really, really long time to read this, and I don't know if I will reread it, so I think I'm gonna pass it on. But great, really, really good. Oh baby, we're going. An Imaginary Life. I just talked about this, just read it. I'm gonna keep it, for sure. A Perfect Stranger by Roxana Robinson. This was a surprising little series of stories by an American writer who I had no idea who she was. This feels very American and very Hallmarky, which I liked. But do I need it? No, I don't. Civil Disobedience and Walden by Thoreau. I still have to read this. It's coming on peak summer, so I feel like this will be the peak summer read. I gotta get into it. Among Flowers by Jamaica Kincaid. Oh man. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep this for sure. I just feel like maybe if I find myself in the Himalayas, that'll be a really nice companion again. Frozen Woman by Annie Anu. How annoying. How annoyed are you? I liked this. This was my first novel of hers. I do also have another novel that I've picked up after this. I don't think that I need this again. This is a fantastic cover, and I hope that somebody loves this. Awesome Ukraine, which I will not get rid of. We had another one of these. Oleg and I picked these up when we were in Ukraine, and it's all about the history of Ukraine. Dishes, landmarks, things like that. It's very cool. It's very fun. I also have The Great Gatsby, written in both English and Ukrainian. Very, very interesting way of reading the novel because you can see it's English and then it's Ukrainian, which I love. If I was to really expand my mind, maybe that's how I would learn the language. Get lower. Let's go down. I do chew my ice. It's a habit I can't get away from. I'm sorry. Piano Teacher? No. This is staying with me for a long time. It's that type of book that I feel like I can talk about to anyone. It feels very strange, but this movie in particular has come into my life at so many different times since I've read the book and watched the movie. So many random people have been like, oh my God, your outfit looks like Isabelle Hubert from The Piano Teacher. And it's wild to me that it's become so central to my life. I don't know why. I feel like maybe I'll dress up as her for Halloween. Will anybody get it? I don't know. But this is a great book. Black Swans by Eve Babbitts. I kind of want to reread this again because I just feel like I had a really positive experience with this book, and sometimes that's what you need in a novel. You need a book that you can just go through so fast and just smile at what you read. The Vegetarian. This was also another fantastic book. Do I think that it leaves a super lasting impression on me? Not really. I do really, really enjoy this author's writing. I've read Human Acts by her as well, and it's very profound and it's very startling writing, but I don't know if it's an all-time favorite, so I'm okay to get rid of this one. The Last Train to London. Grandma got me this for Christmas. I love you, Grandma. I do. American Indian Stories by Zitkala Shah. This was a book that I picked up after my road trip. I picked this up in Montana. My road trip videos will be coming out soon. I'm working on the 4th one. When I have 5, I'm gonna drop them. I'm incredibly interested about Zitkala Shah as a person. Do I think that I need this book? No, I don't. Oh man, The Stories of Barista Pancake. Another book that surprised me. This was something that my mom got at a tag sale in upstate New York, and I really didn't think I was ever going to read it, but I did pick it up. It's all about West Virginia and his love for West Virginia. It's all short stories, and I've been really leaning into that part of the country lately. This book I really liked. Do I need to keep it though? No. The Solace of Open Spaces. I like this book. The White Tiger. I really liked this book a lot. I really, really did, and this is surprising because I picked this up on a whim. I found it in a thrift store in also Montana. I knew that so many people had talked about how kind of wild this ride was, but I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I thought that this was a fantastic story. Do I need it though? Not necessarily. 100 Saturdays, I still have to read this book, so I will keep this. This is all about the Bosnian War, which I loved. I was so impressed by this book, and I really don't think that I'll ever get rid of this. I also recently watched a documentary, I think it's called Camera Person, and it's all about this documentarian, and she kind of pieces together just these little vignettes of her filming, and she had spent time in Bosnia post the war, and that was very, very interesting. It's a great documentary if you have time. It's just like kind of a visual diary, which is what I feel like YouTube is, so naturally I'm very inclined to like that. This book I loved. Under the Banner of Heaven by John Krakauer. Loved this book. Totally loved it. Do I need to keep it though? No, I don't think so. Love in a Fallen City by Eileen Chang. I still have to read this. Ernest Hemingway. A Movable Feast. I love this book. Probably one of my favorite books this year. Yes, absolutely. At Swim, Two Boys by Jamie O'Neill. I still have to read it. Disruption, new short fiction from Africa. I love this book. I do think that I will reread this at some point. Oh, then we have Ukraine, a history that was given to me by a friend, and then we have Like, Comment, Subscribe about YouTube, which I still have to read. Cigarette, definitely still have to read. And then we have a slew of magazines down here, which I'm not gonna get rid of. I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry. I'm keeping them forever. Let's look at the damage of the books that I'm gonna get rid of. Let's see. Whew. So there you have it. Those are all the books that I want to get rid of. You know what it means now? I'm able to put my new books, my fun new books, onto the shelf. Let's do it! Oh, huh. I also have this book to sell. I think I'm also gonna sell this. This is a little hidden gem. Just read it, don't need it. Sad, 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 cry.
How does it look on it?
What?
Stupid or not?
I think it looks good. And then this book. Okay, guys. Now it's complete. Look at that. How beautiful. Now we have all of the books that I have to read and the books that I can't get rid of, which is, you know, some books I can't get rid of. Some I'm happy to part with. Happy to give on to the next person. I do have an eBay with all of my books that are available for purchase. They're running pretty cheap. That's kind of my way of getting rid of them. So whatever's accessible for you, if you're interested in purchasing a book, I promise I'll write a happy little note on it. But yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed. You're wonderful. You're fabulous. Thank you so much for being here per usual. I'll see you in the next one. Look at that. That looks so good now. That looks so goddamn good. Yeah.